Thank you for watching Land of the Bible. I am Dr. Yossi Bordovich in the National Park Moresha, Beit Guvrin. You know, sometimes when we are digging, people are asking, what you gonna find? I don't know. And this is the exciting thing. In archaeology, you never know. Everything can be a surprise, a big surprise. You never know what you're gonna find, and if the thing you're gonna find will change our interpretation of history. We are taking care of the most impressive sites in Israel. Every archaeologist dig in any site and then finish and leave the site. If the site is important and it's a site that must be open for the public, we take care. You can name Masada, Maresha, Beit Guvrin, around the walls in Jerusalem, Megiddo, Chatzor, Lachish, all the biblical tales, all the biblical sites. The most important sites are national parks. Behind me is Tel Maresha. In Joshua 15, we have the description and a list of cities in Judea: Livna, and Eter, and Ashen, and Iftach, and Ashna, and Netziv, and Keilah, and Achziv, and Moresha, 9 cities and its villages. Moresha was a fortified site in central Judea, in the lower Shfela, and an important site that when the people of Israel come from Egypt and make the entrance to Israel, this was one of the cities they tried to conquest, and was part of the war of Joshua. The natural topography of the Tel allowed them to have a commanding view of the region and the control of the roads with all the commercial routes, the rivers, the water, everything is under the control of the area. From here, you can go to Jerusalem, to Beit Shemesh, to Gaza. Every place, every road must pass through Moresha. The big cities start in the Bronze Age, and then it's a big city in the Iron Age, what we call them the Israeli period. And then through the Assyrians and Babylonians and Persians and people from South Lebanon, from Tzor and Sidon, move to the south and start living here. So we have a colony of Sidonians here in Marisa. The name of Greece in Greek is Hellas. So we say Hellenic. So we are visiting now a classical Hellenistic house in Moresha. This house was completely built by stone, and look the size of them. The size of the stone was quarried out from under the house. And this quarry become part of the house, part of the storage rooms, and part of the cisterns of the house. There was covered with plaster. Let's see how they build it. Remember the stone on top? We are going down. Same size of stone that quarry out from underground. Let's go down. Now we are in the underground, under the house. Here we have a crack in the wall. You can see the shape of the cistern with its bell shape here. And in the other side of the cistern, the quarry. So we are in the quarry, and we can see here the different layers that, with the signs of how they quarry out the stones for building the house on top. And even the signs, you can see how they work with the axe or the pickaxe, and they went one direction, and then in the next layer in the other direction. So we can see the signs here and here, every one the same size of the stones we used to build the house on top. And even for a quarry, they keep some aesthetics, and they leave the columns, and on top of the columns sometimes you will see little lintels to keep these ornaments even in the quarry. A lot of civilizations live here, and this is what in archaeology we say about stratigraphy. Stratigraphy is the science to check the different layers of civilizations, of settlements in the site. Sometimes in the same period you can have different settlements. And you can think about a cake with different layers. A normal person, when you see a cake, you take a piece, you cut a piece of cake, you put it in your plate, and you eat all the layers of the cake to feel all the taste mixed together in your mouth. Yeah? But in archaeology, we don't eat all the cake. We eat layer after layer, because every layer of this cake, it's a different period. In the excavation, we can see the different layers. We try all the time not to mix, not to mash up all these layers of the archaeological cake. The Tel was excavated in the Ottoman period. We must understand that in this period, the archaeology was totally different than we know today. So the way of digging was to dig trenches and uncover the site. And then they dig another trench and put all the stuff from the second trench into the first trench. So when you dig in this way, you are moving all the history upside down. So they changed the stratigraphy of the site. This is the way they dig Tel Maresha.
Imagine walking where Jesus walked, where faith comes to life. Feel the Bible story unfold around you, from the green Galilee to Jerusalem's ancient streets. Experience the serene and welcoming land of the Bible, where miracles happen. Put your heart where His footsteps are. Visit Israel.
The site was destroyed and abandoned. When there is a destruction layer, after a war or something that burned, everything, it's lived there. You have something to investigate, something to learn. If people just leave, they take all the stuff with them and they leave nothing, what you can learn. It's like a book without words. An important part of the life in Moresha was underground, not only because the storage rooms or the cisterns, the olive presses of all the impressive agriculture of Moresha was underground too. Near the entrance to the olive press, we have a water cistern, and everything is connected. They need the water inside the olive press, and near them we can find some niches for the idols of the people who live in Moresha. Part of the most important production in Moresha, it's the olive oil. Now we are inside the olive press. This cave is the place where, when the people of Moresha produce its oil. Two parts of the oil press. This vat to broke the olives, and from here they move inside the olive press to obtain the oil. Not once, not twice, even 3 times they can press. First time, the virgin oil. Second time, oil not so good, probably for lights. And then the third, it's like a paste that you use for cream, soap. This site gives lots of information for the understanding not only of Moresha, all the lower Shefela. The Shefela is the area we are now. The meaning of Shefela, it's the lower lands, the lands that are coming from the mountains of Judea, going down to the sea, so the lower lands. We can learn a lot when we are studying Moresha. We are going down to the underground, to one of the Columbarium caves. And after the Hellenic period, they still in use in the Byzantine period. And when different kind of pilgrims visit the site, they leave the signs of your visit. And we can see the crosses and the inscriptions they leave here in the side. When you find the inscription with the cross and the iota, sigma, alpha, omega, Jesus Christus, the first and the last one. Welcome to the Columbarium cave, the biggest one. There is a lot of Columbarium caves here in Moresha. Columbarium is a cave to grow up pigeons. And the name of the site is from the columba, the pigeon. Like Christopher Columbus, it's the same meaning. Columba, pigeon, Columbarium, the place that you grow up pigeons. And in the beginning, some people start thinking maybe the niches are for urnas, for these vessels with ashes of dead people. But this is not a burial cave. This Columbarium cave is from the Hellenic period, approximately from the 3rd to the 2nd century BC. And this one, it's superb. Was planned like a cross with different ways to maximize the site and the niches that we will use to grow up the pigeons. And the planning and the construction, cutting of the cave was done like a palace, like a temple, with projection of columns and capitals, with a nice lintel on top, and all around the walls, these niches for the pigeons. Many people try to identify the biblical sites, the biblical places. Okay? Jerusalem was easy. It was always Jerusalem. But what happened with the different sites that nobody remembered its name? The name was changed with the time. Historically, the name disappeared after the destruction. And only because the archaeological excavations and the researchers that visit the site in the middle of the 19th century and find an inscription reminding the name of Apollophanes, son of Sesmaios, that was the head of the community of the Sidonians at Maresha, we discovered that this is Moresha. Tombs are a very interesting thing. In the way the people die, you can learn, you can understand how they live, in which culture they live. And here we have very interesting tombs. The tombs are going down into a cave, completely dug into the stone. The entrance to the cave is by stairs going down, and it's representative to going down to the underworld. In the entrance, we meet Cerberus, the dog with the 3 heads who's taking care to the entrance to the underworld, the world of the dead. You have a hall with niches around, and almost of them covered with paints and inscriptions and descriptions of the culture. The main tomb, the main niche, was built like a Greek temple. The order is the Doric order, 2 columns, capitals, and the frieze on top, with 2 urns by sides for the ashes of the dead. So this main tomb was closed and covered with another construction that was dismantled by time, probably, but by tomb robbers. And then the niches for all the family. In every one of them, you can put 1 or 2 deads, and every one of the sides of the niches was decorated with painted columns in the Ionic order. After the uncovering of the cave, people of the village around almost destroyed the artworks on the cave. Our luck was everything was painted before and drawn by monks that the researchers bring here. So under the reconstruction, we are the remains of the originals. And here we have the artwork reconstruction. This impressive cave with all the artwork and the inscriptions inside has one of the most important uncovers in Moresha, the inscription of Apolophones, son of Sesmaios, the head of the community of the Sidonians in Moresha. Through the excavations, we can identify the site. And this is another exciting part of the archaeology.
I will bless those who bless you, God promised Abraham. Embrace this covenant by connecting with the people of Israel. From Jerusalem's stones to Galilee's shores, experience living faith through their traditions and hospitality. Your journey is more than visiting biblical sites. It's about hearts that welcome your friendship. Your presence matters. Discover Israel.
And near to Moresha start a new city, the city of Beit Guvrin, the Roman city. They built here temples and Roman baths and an amphitheater. I am Gaius Claudius Augustus, and this is the arena of the amphitheater of Eleuteropolis, the city of the freemen. Here is where everything happened, the place of the violence, the place of the killing of the gladiators. After the Second Revolt and the destruction of Jerusalem, Moresha disappeared, and the city of Eleuteropolis became the big city of the region. Well, it's an amphitheater, a double theater, two theaters that was merged to make a big arena for a big show. Which kind of show? A violent show. No Jews used to visit the theater. This idolatry. No Jews used to visit the amphitheater. There's another kind of idolatry and violence. They didn't want to participate. From here, the Roman city disappeared and became an Islamic city, and then a crusade fortress take place of the site with all the facilities for the crusades here to control the area after the First Crusade. We are now in the bell-shaped caves in Moresha. We have in Moresha two kinds of bell-shaped caves. The private caves, in secondary use as cisterns or storage rooms under the Hellenistic houses. Here we have another kind of bell-shaped caves, not for private use, for commercial use. So here you can see the entrance through the hard nari, the hard chalk, going down as a spiral and making this bell shape. Two more bell-shaped quarries. And here we can see the direction of the quarrying in every layer that they remove the stones out from the quarry. So these huge caves, these huge quarries are industrial quarries, not like the quarries under the city of Moresha. Even the technique of quarry is the same here than in Moresha. The caves under the houses in the city, they are in secondary use for cisterns, for storage places. Here, even if the size of the cave is big as a palace, nobody lives here. Nobody lives here, and nobody lives on top of these bell-shaped caves. These quarries are an important part of the flourishing economy of the area, of all the region in the 7th century CE.
I'm David Sussman, your host. Join us next week as we visit the Ella Valley, filled with fortified cities, ancient conflict, and underground secrets.
Thanks for watching, and make sure to join us next time as we connect you to the people, places, and lands of the Bible.